The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Tax the rich, feed the poor, till there are no rich no more.
Welcome to Pot Talk, everybody. I'm Jim.
I'm Paul. Jeremy.
And I'm Jeremy.
He never gets it. Ever. Jesus Christ.
We want to welcome a special guest tonight. We have Veleda Spellan with us. She's going to be starting a brand new show Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern called Cards on the Table Radio with Queen V.
There you go.
Now, you want to say something, Queen V?
She is
she
not
here?
in the room.
I don't even know.
Oh, Lita's not in the room.
No, she is not here.
Okay, she must have got kicked off. That's what I get for not looking.
Once again, a disaster before we even got the first fucking subject going.
Yeah, I know.
Go!
Like I said, I don't know if she got
Right.
kicked out or what. But anyways, what do we want to talk about, guys, until she comes back in?
Yeah, what do you know what? Why don't we talk about
The Bill Cosby thing.
Yeah, we
that's
got
not
it,
a long story.
Yeah, Bill Cosby found guilty of
Guilty,
sexual assault. Now, is that rape? Is that the same thing as rape?
No, sexual assault means he gave him pills. Unless he pawed on him, and I don't know.
Yeah, I'm wondering, what is sexual assault compared to rape?
Right.
If anyone knows that, I was going to say call in.
difference?
Don't call in. Nobody call in tonight. We're doing a fucking call-less show.
But in case you do, it's 1-800.
There you go.
508-5431.
I hate you. I really fucking hate you.
And you can take the phone call.
No, I'm not taking shit. Oh my God, you're going on the list with fucking Billy Bob. Jeremy, when you get a chance, Google the difference between sexual assault and rape. Anyways,
That is exactly what I'm doing right now.
Thank you, Jeremy. Bill Cosby found guilty of sexual assault. He had a little bit to say in the courtroom to the district attorney.
Yeah, he ranted a bit. He called the district attorney an asshole. He goes, I'm sick of you.
Yeah. I think that's worse than anything he's ever said on any of his comedy albums.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, remember how clean... And don't get me wrong. I thought Bill Cosby's comedy albums were funny stuff. You know what I mean?
Where was what state was he convicted in?
Pennsylvania, I believe. It was Pennsylvania, right, Jimmy?
Gettysburg.
No. Pennsylvania, the state Cosby was convicted in, correct?
I'm not sure.
It's either Pennsylvania or
In
Massachusetts.
In Pennsylvania, in order for it to be considered rape, you actually have to threaten use of force.
So
Sexual
because they
assault in Pennsylvania basically means intercourse without consent.
Okay. Right, and when you're drugged and you're asleep, you can't be threatened and you can't give consent.
It's a Benadryl. That's what it's a fucking sleeping pill.
So that's drugged. Somebody gives you a sleeping pill, Jimmy.
Sleeping pills are not drugs.
Some are. I bet you the one he gave.
I know the ones I'm taking,
If you give somebody a pill,
they're not addictive.
If you give somebody a pill, which makes them go to sleep, right? And then you have sex with them, you sexually assaulted them. They did not give permission. That's a no-no.
Right.
So you're saying he waited till they passed out and then attacked them?
Well, he didn't have to attack them. They were passed out.
Well, it makes no sense.
Of course, it makes perfect sense.
No, if you're a necrophiliac,
because they're alive.
That's dead.
They're still alive. It's a breathing, living thing.
Basically, what they're saying in his case is
exactly that's necrophilia.
He didn't use force because they were passed out. He didn't have to use force.
Yes, that's why it
I
was
doubt
called
if they
sexual
were passed
assault
out. You
instead
don't
of
pass
rape.
out from fucking sleeping
Right.
pills. All right?
It's still,
Especially when you're in the middle of a conversation.
Jesus Christ.
You do on barbiturates, you pass out. But these are just sleeping pills. They're a
So you don't
sleeping
pass
aid.
out on sleeping pills?
No.
Then why are they called
Unless
sleeping
you
pills?
to keep you asleep.
Right. So he gave them to him so they would stay asleep, so he could sexually assault them.
They would have to go to sleep on their own to begin with.
No!
Yes.
No!
Yes. You don't pass out from them. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh my God.
They just keep you
Fight,
asleep.
fight.
I
That's
don't
what-
believe that for a second.
That's what mine does.
So that maybe that's what yours does. That doesn't mean that's what all of them do. There's
They're
different
sleeping
kinds of
pills.
sleeping pills, Jimmy. Yeah. He did it, and he deserves everything. Well, he's
It'd be
not
like,
gonna get-
I don't love you hoes, I'm out the door.
Comey saying the Pfizer bill wasn't a critical part of the Pfizer application. I mean, the dossier wasn't a critical part of the Pfizer application.
Let me ask you
But
something,
that's
Jeremy.
what they used to get it.
Oh my God, we changed the subject before we
What's
even
that?
talked about it. The Cosby thing.
No.
Do you think you'll ever see the inside of a jail cell?
No.
Nah, me neither.
I think you will.
Never.
Nope. I think his appeals process will last for years before they even get him.
Yeah,
into
but
a
you
jail
do
cell,
time
so-
when you put up an appeal.
In some places, you can be out on
That
bail
depends.
during a film.
No,
That
it's not
depends.
true.
We got
Yes, it is.
When you get a new trial, they let you out on bail. They don't do it for appeals.
Yes, some
No,
states
they
do.
don't.
Yes, Jeremy. Once again, put your Google skills to fucking work, because I know Texas does it. No, they do. You
They
can be
don't.
out on
Yeah,
bail
you gotta-
during
Yeah,
appeal.
Texas
No,
fries people.
for a new trial, you get out on appeal. I mean, you get out on bail.
Yep, I'm telling you.
No,
the guy was
not
out.
once you're convicted. You're convicted. You don't get out.
You can.
No, you don't. Not even on appeal.
Well, Texas does it.
They don't.
I watched the thing, Jimmy.
Yeah, I know, and I told you, you watched the guy get a new fucking trial and they let him out.
He was on appeal because he had because he was given under 20
Okay.
years.
234
If he'd been given 20 or more,
Pennsylvania.
he would
He
not
Code
went
allowed.
on an
521.
appeal and got a new trial.
But he
And
was.
when they got a new trial,
They
they
did
let
it.
him out on bail.
Here we go. Let Jeremy say. Go ahead, Jeremy.
When a defendant is found guilty of an offense that is punishable by death or life imprisonment, they do not get released on bail. The defendant shall have the same right to bail after verdict and before imposition of sentence as the defendant had before the verdict. In other words, he can get out on bail as long as sentence has not yet been imposed.
Yeah, and he is. He's out on bail now because sentence hasn't been imposed.
Right, it hasn't been imposed. Yep.
Which it will be within the next 3 weeks.
Holy fuck, that bear's half froze.
Yeah, once
He's gonna
sentence
get
has
house
been
arrest.
imposed, I do believe there are no bail conditions. Oh, probably. I mean,
not
actually,
gonna
I
put
could
him in
Google
jail.
that too. What is the punishment for sexual assault in Pennsylvania? That's where he was convicted at, right?
Yeah, but they'll make a special consideration due to age and health.
They already did. They let him out on bail while he's waiting sentence because they can send you in right away.
Right, yeah, that they can do. Then you start serving your sentence from that point on.
This is Maria Gentili, 1991.
Oh. Hey, Jimmy, you want to stay
I'm
with the
looking
show?
for Veleda. I'm looking for Veleda.
Yeah,
He hasn't come back yet.
She may figure because she's going on later tonight that she doesn't want to do the show with us because she's going to do the half-hour gig.
Well, she didn't say goodbye or anything.
I
I think she
didn't
got
hear her
thrown
say
off and
anything.
she ain't getting on.
That's a possibility. I don't know. But if you can hear us, Lita, please come back in.
Oh, well, see,
Any-
Pennsylvania has a separate charge also called indecent assault. It's similar to sexual assault. Indecent assault basically is what he was convicted of. Sexual
I thought it
assault
was-
is different. It says
I seen
it
on the news
involves
he was
indecent
convicted.
contact with the victim.
He was
well, see,
convicted
the
of
news
sexual
broadcast it
assault.
as sexual assault.
Yeah.
He was actually convicted of indecent assault.
Really?
Yes.
So they all the news outlets got it wrong.
That's by the
Doesn't
sounds of it.
surprise
Yes,
me.
that's what I'm reading. The person and this is the conditions of indecent assault. The person does so without complainant's consent, of course, which that's sexual assault. The person does so by forcible compulsion, by basically compelling the person to do it. The complainant is unconscious, which they were, at least according to the case. The person is impaired. The complainant suffers from mental disability. The complainant is less than 13 years of age or is less than 16 years of age, and the person is 4 or more years older than the complainant.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
You know, I don't like the impaired thing. I don't like the impaired part. Because that implies you could get drunk on your own. Say, yeah, go ahead. And then you have sex with them, and they go, well, I was impaired. Well, you said yes.
Yeah, I know. But I was impaired.
In
When she realized she can
Pennsylvania,
get a ton of money, that's when she realized she said no. I said no. Now give me my money.
This is all going to end up heading to, I wouldn't say small claims court. He's going to get sued, without a doubt. That basically rape only carries a 20-year prison sentence and $25,000 fine. I'm looking at this.
They said he's got the
Sexual
he can get up to 30 years.
Sexual assault. Well, that depends on how many cases, how many what do they call it? Indecent
How many
assault
victims
charges
there
he
are?
has
There was
against
5
him.
plus another.
Yeah.
6 altogether.
Plus,
Right, but he's only convicted on one.
No, well, they went
Indecent
by all the
assault.
others. That's what they said. They believed him.
Right, but I'm saying he was only convicted
The
of
judge,
one count
no,
of it.
but he did. No, he was convicted of 6 counts. That's why he's
What?
up to 30 years. It's probably 5 years apiece.
he can actually, according to this, he can receive up to 10 years per charge.
So
But he
unless
was, I
it's
thought it was only one.
you-
I thought it was only one count.
but they
If
they
he was
let 5
convicted of
people
one count, 10 years.
testify.
Yeah, but testify doesn't mean you're being charged with it.
No, it was a patent. It was a patent of
I see what you're saying. That there was a right. He had done it more than once,
behavior
Oh,
patent.
but
good
he hadn't
Lord.
been convicted.
You're right. He's only going to get 5 years, if that. In the event the
See?
crime is charged
That's
as
what
an
I
indecent
said, 5
assault,
years.
which he was,
10 tops.
it is considered a first or second degree misdemeanor with the maximum punishable up to 5 years in prison.
So he's going to get house arrest. House arrest. He'll never see the inside of his cell.
However, if there is a multiple offenses, or if the assault was committed by touching the victim's sexual parts with those of the defendant, then it can be a third-degree felony. This is punishable by up to 7 years in prison. So 5
And
to 7
bragging
years
rights.
is the maximum he'll get per charge. Yeah. Now, let's go see if we can figure out how many charges he was convicted of.
I thought it was only one. That big, tall, black woman. She was like really tall and thin. Not a very attractive woman, by the way. I hate to say that, but you know what? I'm just stating the truth.
Who's not a very attractive?
The woman that
testified? Yeah, I know.
yeah,
She is.
not a very attractive
Like
woman.
I said. She knew what she wasn't going to get anywhere. Give me my money. Yes, he did. He did this to me.
Janice Dickinson says that he did it to her.
That was the white woman?
Yeah, the old model there. She's
Okay,
like in
this
her
was
60s or something like
I
that.
don't know.
Aggravated indecent assault. He was convicted of three counts.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just
He's
a single
facing up-
count.
which puts him at up to 10 years in prison per count.
So you were right, Jimmy. He was facing up to 30
yeah.
years. You were absolutely
Yeah.
correct. Ooh, oh boy. He could be in some real trouble. But you know what? He already won. He's a fucking feeble old man. He's a
What was
feeble
that?
old man.
Don't.
I think Donald jumped
He ain't
in.
They'll take into account his age and his health and all that, and
Yeah, they're
What
gonna say,
on
oh,
earth
it'd be
am I
too
hearing
costly
there?
for the system. I don't know. We're not hearing anything, Jeremy.
I keep hearing a bass guitar played in the background.
You hear what in
A
the
bass
background?
guitar being played in the background.
That could be my chair.
No, it's not. It does. Is it like a rhythmic thing, or is it random?
Yeah, it's like dun 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 dun. It's
No,
got
I
a
don't know
beat to
where
it
that's coming from.
almost. So
I'm not hearing that.
It's gonna be on your end, brother, because we're not producing it.
You must have a window open.
it could be that CNN. It might be their site doing it. Yeah, yeah,
Turn
it
the
is.
fucking
I muted
volume
it.
down. Thank you.
No, I just muted the whole tab.
Yeah, make
There you
it
go.
drink.
Good. Did we beat fucking Cosby into the ground yet, or what?
We can beat him into the ground even more if you know anything about him.
Not
Well,
really. I mean,
I do know that his son was murdered.
Yes, I remember that. In California.
Yeah, and that's the only other thing I know about him.
He's been married to the same woman
I've seen
forever.
I've seen a Facebook meme where it says it's got a picture of Wild Bill from Silence of the Lambs, except it's got Bill Cosby's face on it, and it says he puts the pudding in the basket.
Man, talk about a great fucking career. Just destroyed.
Oh yeah.
His fucking legacy is 100% destroyed. What a fucking moron.
Even if
but then again,
if he was found innocent, it's over for him.
yeah, but at least it would
There's-
have been. He was found innocent. Now he's been found guilty. You know what I mean? That's his legacy. He was found guilty of basically rape. Basically, rape. Hey, you know what? Good enough for him. If he was doing it, motherfucker deserves it. The fuck? With all that money and shit,
Well, yeah.
go out and get a fucking high-price hooker. You know what I'm saying? Go get a high-price hooker.
Not off of Craigslist,
It's
right?
an ego thing. You don't.
No, nothing off of Craigslist.
You don't pay for it.
Well, do you know what you do? Is you fucking pay cash. Just pay fucking
So you don't
cash.
get caught.
It's better off.
Not traceable.
Yeah, you know Jerry Springer. That's how he got fucking bagged with a hooker. He paid with a personal check.
Yeah. Idiot.
He was a lieutenant governor of Ohio, wasn't he?
No, he was the mayor. I mean,
Mayor of Cincinnati.
Mayor of Cincinnati.
Mayor of Cincinnati.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
That fucking slime ball. He really is a fucking snake.
He's just like Anderson Cooper.
Oh, really?
Hannity compared him.
Yeah, they're both fucking snakes.
And compared to Anderson asking questions to Stormy Daniels, you know, oh, did he use a condom? Compare you to his daughter?
Fucking unbelievable.
Now, why would he compare her to his daughter?
I've seen Greg Giraldo. Jerry Springer was on one of the roasts. Fucking Greg Giraldo just focused right in on Springer. He's like, I'm glad to see you slithered in, you cultural sodomite. He goes, He goes, you made so many deals with the devil, he's got tunnel carpal syndrome. Cultural sodomite, that's the fucking best one.
Yeah, he said, one of you guys mentioned Stormy Daniels a minute ago, and the only reason she's even out there even talking about this shit is because there's money involved.
Of course.
Right. She already got paid 130 grand. She went through it. Now she's looking for more. And she can't talk about it. Because if she does talk about it, she's going to pay the 130 grand back.
And because he's president, oh my God, they got a chance to make a ton of money off of this, so I'm going to say something about it.
Of course. She's a fucking...
But she can't.
She's a porn star.
All they did was have consensual sex, and he paid her to shut up. There's nothing illegal about it.
No, absolutely
no reason for them to be jumping all over his case.
And it didn't happen when he was president.
Well, the reason they do this is because they're trying to damage his credibility is what it is.
With what? Because I had consensual sex? He ain't saying she got raped.
I know, but what Jeremy's trying
to say... She didn't say she got assaulted. It was consensual sex.
Right.
Yeah.
But they can't afford to have an outsider come in and fix their screw-ups that they've been unable to fix for 30 years. They can't afford to do it because if this happens, nobody will vote for establishment again, ever.
That's what it is.
Why they're it's not that hard on after him.
It's not that they couldn't fix it. It was in their best interest to not fix it. That's what it comes down to. The establishment, the fucking the establishment Democrats and the establishment Republicans are the same fucking animal. They don't want to fix things. Yeah. They want to make things worse to make us more dependent on them.
They appear to be fighting on the surface when in reality they're working towards the same goals.
Yeah, they're in bed together. They're the same fucking monster.
The only difference is they're fighting over who gets to troll it.
Exactly. Whose name's on it.
Mm-hmm. Then they got George Soros, and they were talking about him today and how he's against all this racism and this Nazism. Fucking George Soros was a Nazi. He worked with
he was
Nazis.
He was in the SS. In the SS. Yeah. And he referred to it as the happiest time of his life. Well, I don't know if he was an officer, but he was in the SS. That fucking piece of shit. He sold his own fucking people out for money.
Well, I doubt if he could be in the SS and be Jewish. So he might have been.
No, they'd let you in if you're fucking working for the fucking the ends to the means.
Right, but they might give you an honorary name.
Well, he was in the SS. They've got pictures of him in his fucking uniform, and it's got the two fucking.
Matter of fact, I think he was. I believe he was Waffen SS to be exact, but we'll have to look that up and see now.
Yeah.
But anyway, they instead of trying to file charges and trying to take these guys out politically, they're doing it by defaming them.
Yep.
And it's like Alex Jones, for instance. I don't know what you guys think of Alex Jones, but
I like him.
He's constantly being sued by the left, and what they'll do is they'll sue him, get all this out here in the public. Oh, Alex Jones has been sued for we'll say racism or hate speech. Then they drop their suit. And
right, just so it's public record.
Yeah, and then a few weeks or months down the road, they file it again. Oh, look, Alex Jones has been sued again for hate speech. Pretty soon, people start to believe that. That's why they're hammering all this stuff with Trump. They can't prove it, but they're going to keep saying it until people believe it.
Right. All you have to do is be accused now, and your career is over. No fucking jury, no nothing. It's
Ask Ronnie Jackson.
Opinion.
The White House doctor there that was going to go for the VA position, secretary of the VA, and he just because they called him the Candy Man. No, he helped a lot of people that were doing jet lag. You know, and he got him over that, and all of a sudden now he's a drug dealer. He's a pusher.
Yeah, and from the same people
for sleep aids.
Yeah, from the same people that were taking money from Big Pharma and fucking pushing OxyContin on people.
Right.
Hey, the hypocrisy is unfucking believable.
Drum roll here, and I'm saying this sarcastically. I bet you neither one of you guys could guess which website says George Soros was not in the SS.
Snopes.
No, moveon.org.
Yes,
that's Snopes.
It was Snopes.
Yeah, Snopes says that the Clintons were never disbarred. Snopes says that
so Snopes is Nopes. None of this shit is true.
Everyone thinks just because you're up there as a fact-checking site that it's real. You got to fact-check the fact-checkers.
The funny thing is during a 60 minutes interview, the show by Steve Croft, Soros admitted to being a Nazi collaborator, and this was back in 1998.
and it just gets
so. Yeah, he helped them round them up.
Yeah, yeah, he was pointing the ones out. He was like the guy that helped get Anne Frank killed.
Donald sent me something about why are people so offended by the word cunt. A psychologist explains. Should I play it?
Yeah, go ahead, read it out.
Uh-oh. Oh.
I have a good.
Yeah, thank you, Jeremy.
You're welcome. Too bad Donald isn't on here to go, oh.
Yeah, I know. I love hearing the pain in his voice.
Oh, it's not audio. Yeah, I gotta read it.
Do you want to read it or not?
Cunt is one of the most heavily tabooed words in the English language. It's the Nigel Farage of swear words. If you were to call someone a wanker or a bastard as an insult, they'd say it was rude. But call somebody a cunt and they'll probably look at you like you just thrown a grenade at them. On dictionary.com, the definition of cunt even comes with a usage alert. All senses of this word are vulgar slang and are very strongly tabooed in senses. There are many words used to refer to people in sexual terms. However, to call a person a cunt, especially a woman, is one of the most hateful and powerful examples of the verbal abuse in the English language. Is it actually the worst thing you could call a woman, though? Really? While vagina describes part of the interior sexual organ and vulva describes the exterior, the word cunt encompasses the whole thing. It's the only word that describes the whole shebang.
Yeah, the whole person.
More than this, vagina literally means sword sheath. In other words, a dick passage. So you could say cunt is actually the nicer and more autonomically correct word to use.
I'm so glad Jimmy...
There is more. Here we go. Semantically speaking, cunt is simply the female equivalent of dick, as both signifies for a sexual organ. And when you look at it and look at the whole hoo-ha surrounding the use of cunt in conversation, does seem somewhat strange. James Joyce, D.H. Lawrence, Shakespeare, and Chaucer are all used the word cunt in their works of literature.
Nice.
It's an expressive, highly powerful, and frankly empowering word. And once you understand the origins of cunt, you soon realize that it's certainly shocking but hardly scandalous. Whatever you think, it's clear the C word has been firmly placed by Main Street society on the metaphorical shelf of things that are completely unacceptable to say. But why do so many people shudder at the sound of this clunky monosyllabic word? What exactly is that people find so offensive? I asked Dr. Richard Stevens from Yale University, who's researched in the psychology of swearing for this book, Black Sheep, the hidden benefits of being bad, to explain. There are many taboo words and phrases, that is, words that people find offensive or obscene. They're more offensive the word, more taboo it becomes. In my opinion, cunt is considered very offensive because of its strong misogynistic overtone. Cunt first appeared in the written down form 1230, circa 1230 in the London street named Grope Cunt Lane. This tells us two things. First, that this was a location frequented by prostitutes and their clients. And second, that cunt was a publicly accepted word at the time. Cunt, also used in medical writing in the 1400s as an anatomical nomenclature for the vagina. I don't know when cunt crossed over from acceptability to taboo. Why have certain words such as fuck seemingly lost their shock value while cunt is still so strongly tabooed in senses? It's very context specific. Saying fuck at a football match would cause very few ripples, whereas saying it during a lecture at a university, which I sometimes get to do quite legitimately when talking about my research, provokes more of a reaction. But language evolves, and the more a shocking word is used, the more its shock value is likely to ebb away as we become habituated to it. It is a cultural thing. Are Americans more offended by the use of cunt than Brits? I don't know that Americans are more offended than Brits, but there are cultural elements to this. For example, it is likely that more so in communities that outlaw misogyny can cunt carry the level of offense that it does. In Holland, cancer is used as a swear word, which is not something I have come across in the UK. Do the sounds that swear words may contribute to their offensiveness? This is a plosiveness theory of swearing. The idea that it is something about the specific combination of vowels and consonants, such as making a hard sound, that contributes to the offensiveness of the word. I don't know of any studies that have assessed this. However, a recent paper investigated by people dislike the word moist and tested out whether their dislike of the word was based on the sound.
I like moist.
However, when asked to rate similar sound words like foist and hoist, they had no problem for these words. In my opinion, swearing would be simply, and it is simply, the taboo-ness of the word, by which I mean the combination of its meaning in society accepting the word itself. That makes it offensive and not how it sounds.
This is long-winded.
That was the end.
Oh,
yes, it was.
Very good, Jimmy. Very good. Do you know what I love the most about that article?
The word cunt.
No, it said cunt like 90 times, and one time it said the C word. One time. To make it better. Oh, and by the way, Jimmy,
okay,
you owe me a shitload of times to be able to say it now.
All right.
Coming from the guy that told me you got to stop saying cunt.
Well, I just gave the reason why you should stop and not.
I don't see a problem with the word.
They're saying moist is as bad as cunt.
Oh, some women really hate that.
Moist?
Moist. Yeah.
You mean you get wet? Throw it right at him. Let's get to the Queen V on that one at 9:30. Are you wet?
No, moist.
Can I call you a cunt or should I call you moist?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure you'd get an opinion from her. Oh boy. Oh,
nothing.
Yeah.
I hope she has not come back into the room.
No, she's not. She's not coming in until 9:30.
After that article, Jimmy. Very informative, though. Very
It was.
informative. I think it's just because...
Speaking of definitions, have any of you noticed that Webster's Dictionary has now changed the definition of fascism again?
Yeah, to a conservative view on things.
Well, actually, they've changed it from that. It's,
no! To what now?
On their site now, it says a political theory advocating an authoritarian, hierarchical government opposed to democracy and liberalism. It used to say,
What is?
Yes.
Fascist.
Yeah. No, fascists
Fascism.
are liberals. Liberals are fascists.
Okay.
Socialists are fascists.
Just a few months ago, it used to say this. It says, any ideology or movement inspired by Italian fascism, such as German National Socialism, any right-wing nationalist ideology or movement with an authoritarian hierarchical structure that is fundamentally opposed to democracy and liberalism. Any
So they knocked out
ideology, movement, program, tendency, etc. that may be characterized as right-wing, chauvinistic, authoritarian, etc.
Well, they had to knock that socialism part of it out of the dictionary. They had
Yes,
to.
they took all the right-wing references out, too. Now imagine
They
what's
ain't
going to
that a
happen if we
bitch.
get a Democratic president there again.
Jesus Christ. And the funny thing is, right, it's all about language. Do you ever notice liberals and Democrats, it's all about language. When something fails, like when a policy fails, instead of changing the policy, they change the name. They don't change the policy, they change the name.
Yeah, it went from, oh my God, fucking Obamacare is failing. It's now the Affordable Care Act.
Me and Jimmy were talking about that earlier. Global warming. When it failed, it became climate change.
Climate change.
Mm-hmm.
And
so they make it so vague.
Speaking of that, Al
win.
Gore is actually threatening to file lawsuits against anybody who denies his how did he put it? Global warming theory.
Well, let me state right here on the open airwaves: global warming or climate change is bullshit. Al, sue me, you fucking hack.
Well, right. It's bullshit in the way that they put it, because global warming, climate change, whatever you want to call it, is something that's happened on the Earth naturally for billions of years.
Of course, it's secular.
We are not even denting the carbon footprint.
No. Every time a volcano hiccups, it puts fucking so much more shit in the air than we do. It's ridiculous.
Every time a cow
way to
farts,
control the masses. Well, that's another one I love. It's the methane.
If they can control your education and control the way you think, they can control you.
Well, they can,
and you wouldn't even know it.
If they literally control the air you breathe, that is the most basic function a human being has. Breathing. You have to do it all the time. You don't have to eat all the time. You don't have to sleep all the time. You gotta breathe all the time.
Well, yeah, that's why they talk about all these chemtrails, and they say it's cloud seeding to help heal the ozone. Right.
This reminds me of a thing I saw today.
What happened to the hole in the ozone layer?
It never got
you remember
filled.
Back when they used to claim there was a gigantic hole over the northeastern United States.
Skin cancer at amazing rates.
Yeah, or remember acid rain? It killed every lake in Scandinavia.
Well, we got rid of the coal.
Yeah, but the lakes, they would never have recovered this quick, ever.
Yeah,
They were
water.
dead. They were dead.
The rain
There was no
makes
life in
it
them.
neutral.
Always overstated.
He's starting,
There may have been
he's
acid
starting to
rain.
sound like a liberal.
There was acid rain, but to the extent that it was, they said every lake in Scandinavia was void of life. Really?
Yeah.
Go there now. They look
Right.
fine.
Well, we got rid of the coal.
I think the
we
only-
got rid of the what do you call it? The shit they throw out the stack pipes. They filter it now, so
Right,
it
no,
stopped all
no.
the acid from going up in the air.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, they said I seen the commercials when I was not a kid, but in my 20s and stuff, that every lake in Scandinavia was void
Probably
of life.
was.
course it
Well, they were,
wasn't.
yes, they were, because they had coal burning
So
power
in
plants.
30 years, or every lake in Scandinavia,
matter what
it's
we
void
do.
now. 30 years.
I'm sure they had coal burning plants longer than
What?
30 years.
No, what I'm saying is, when I was in my 20s, they said every lake in Scandinavia was void of life. And in 30 years,
What they
now
said-
they're all fine again.
I don't know if they're all
What
fine
they fail to
again.
tell you
And I don't know
is
if they were all
man-
void of life either.
That's the commercials I seen when I was in my
is not
20s.
the man is not
think
the
it's time
cause
to
of
get
our
started.
environmental issues.
Well, some we are, yeah,
Yeah,
because
man.
we did some shitty stuff.
Right. Of course, but they're talking life-ending global disasters. We're not
Right.
the cause of that shit.
No.
I mean, the Earth only has to change its temperature like a half a degree to cause dramatic weather changes. We're talking
That's
devastating weather.
Right. It changes
But they think
the
man-
jet stream, the airstream. That is the jet
Mhm.
stream. What's the one in the water?
Oh, the currents.
The
No,
Gulf.
that is the jet
the
stream.
Gulf
What's the one
Stream.
in the air?
The Gulf Stream current.
Gulf Stream. That's what it is.
But the thing is, right? Shit like this has been happening since the beginning of time. Life started on Earth, right? And then it turned into a giant snowball. The whole planet froze solid. Solid.
Yeah, because of an asteroid.
No.
Yeah, it did. It
was
threw
a
up
shift.
all the dust and stopped
was a
the sun
shift.
from coming on.
It was a slight shift in its orbit. And it caused the whole planet to freeze. And it became a runaway effect. And then that went away. And then there was the Permian extinction. And then the fucking other one. And
The
the
thing
other
that
one.
killed the dinosaurs is what started the Ice Age.
Right.
Okay, now
That's-
they're saying it was a meteorite.
Snowball Earth.
That it was only small animals could live and survive. Tall ones couldn't. That's why he got rid of the dinosaurs.
But Snowball Earth happened hundreds of millions of years before the dinosaurs.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Oh, it might have at one point, but that's not the Ice Age we're talking about.
No, but I'm saying it's happened over the period of life on Earth. 3 billion
Yeah, but
years.
that's when something smashes the earth,
It's
blocks the
happened
sun, and
hundreds
it
of
gets
times,
cold.
thousands of times.
Yes. Ice ages are a part of Earth's natural.
No, that's not natural to have meteors and come in and smash you and stop the sunlight. That's not natural.
Of course it is.
Mm-mm.
The Earth's been hit.
Well, yeah.
How do you
but-
think the oceans exist on Earth? Where do you think the oceans came from?
but-
Came from asteroids hitting the Earth.
No, it ain't.
Yes.
No, it ain't.
Where did it come
Yeah,
from then,
ice-
Jimmy? Where did the water come
Vomit.
from?
Oxygen, hydrogen, they mixed and filled up. All right, the Earth was growing as far as volcanoes
Jimmy,
across the whole Earth. Now they're underwater.
the oceans existed long before there was free oxygen in the atmosphere.
No.
All the oxygen on Earth was locked into the oceans.
You didn't get water before oxygen.
Free-flowing oxygen in the atmosphere, yeah.
You didn't get
Yes,
water
that's what he's
before
talking about.
oxygen.
Oxygen,
All the water on
Right,
Earth
because-
was
yes.
locked.
The water
All-
is what produced our oxygen in the atmosphere.
Right. When you had life forms that metabolized and separated the hydrogen from the oxygen, and it became free-floating.
Right.
Our oceans came from asteroids. That's where it came from.
Yeah.
Gigantic,
Chunks of ice.
No.
And,
Look at the screws.
giant chunks of ice hitting the Earth. That's where it came from.
comets and asteroids,
If we just happen to be
meteorites.
lucky. Yeah. You look at the moon. Look at the moon. All the meteor strikes on the moon, right? For every fucking strike that hit the moon, 10 hit the Earth. Or more.
No.
Yes.
No, the moon took them away from stopping them from hitting us.
No.
It took the hit.
No. Because the bigger object will take it the hit. The bigger the object, the heavier the gravitational field, the more hits it'll take.
You don't know what you're talking
Of
about.
course I know what I'm talking
No, you
about.
And they,
Oh, so
Well,
the
they,
smaller object took more hits.
Right.
No. It
Why do
doesn't
you
work
think
that
it's
way.
covered with fucking
The only reason we're not covered
craters? We're not. They take 10 times the amount of
Right. Do you know why?
meteorites because it's right. It goes
Do you know
around
why
the
you see
Earth
all the strikes on the
and takes
moon?
it before it gets to the Earth.
No, because
Yeah.
the moon has no atmosphere and no water to wash the fucking craters away.
That's got nothing to do with it.
Oh, no, it has nothing to do with
No,
the
it
chicken.
don't. Washing them away. You need water now?
There you go.
all right, what came first, the chicken or the egg?
The chicken. Had to be the chicken. Because the chicken has to lay the egg. You can't have an egg being laid by something else and a chicken pop out. So there.
Now, if you say the first chicken on the planet was hatched from an egg, it depends
Should
on
say
how it
this for
started. Did
tomorrow
it
night.
start as an egg, or did it start as a chicken?
We still got something here.
Well, you know what? That's a hard one. Because a chicken started as a dinosaur, basically. A chicken is a dinosaur.
No, it ain't.
Of course it is.
No, it ain't.
First,
That's where all birds
the
evolved
first
from.
free oxygen on the
Dinosaurs?
planet was
No.
released through. It was released into the atmosphere through photosynthesis by cyanobacteria. It was initially soaked up by iron and dissolved in the oceans and formed red-colored iron oxide, which settled to the ocean floor. So the oceans did exist before oxygen in the atmosphere.
Yes. Oxygen was all locked up in fucking H2O. There was nothing to set it free because it's a highly cohesive bond. You need something to physically knock that oxygen atom
Which
away.
evaporation would.
The oceans, they say the oceans on Earth were created as the result of continued cooling on Earth. This continued cooling, which ultimately led to the Ice Age. Okay, it cuts that part off, son of a bitch. There we go. It is also believed the oceans would have evaporated away were it not for a form of atmosphere in place to prevent the water from escaping into space.
Yeah. It doesn't mean it was an oxygen atmosphere. It was probably a nitrogen atmosphere because that's the most abundant
The first-
element in our atmosphere. We breathe more
first
nitrogen than oxygen.
The first known version of the Earth's atmosphere contained hydrogen, methane, and water vapor. And carbon oxides.
Well, how do we get to a fucking mostly nitrogen atmosphere? Because that's what's the most abundant thing in our atmosphere. Nitrogen.
That's what I'm looking for, trying to see if it says anything about that. It's first followed by
Alright, we're
what
getting
the
close to
atmosphere
the
or
end.
air was.
We are already?
We got about 8 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I just want to
Dum
let
dum
you know.
Dum 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 dum.
We did
Okay.
Cosby, but we never did Comey.
Yeah, fuck him. I hate
Well,
that prick. Anyway.
Yeah, we go
well,
ahead and get to Comey. We got 8
Yeah,
minutes.
go ahead.
Yeah, let's go with Comey. He told Brett Baer tonight that he didn't leak and that it wasn't leaking. He said it was declassified when the president said it was classified.
He's just a fucking liar.
He's digging a
He
hole in for
already
himself, and he's doing it on tape.
He already admitted to leaking the information on purpose.
Right, but he's saying it
shows
wasn't leaking because it wasn't classified.
And because he didn't do it himself directly, he gave it to a third party.
He thinks he's going to get out of it because he gave it to somebody else to leak. That's bullshit. He gave it to him to leak.
He's also playing. He's playing this idea. Hey, I was former head of the FBI. I know the law.
Right.
That's what he's trying to say. And it's not going to work that way.
He doesn't know shit about the law, obviously.
You know, he'll go down in history as the man that fucking tore down the FBI.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The FBI has no credibility right now.
The people that working for the FBI do not like him at all.
No, they hate the 7th floor.
All of them.
Yeah.
They're all just backstabbing motherfuckers.
Oh, and then he asked
Hillary,
about, Jimmy,
Hunters,
you know the two agents that were talking to each other?
Stroke and Page.
Yeah. He's like, well, when they asked him about the contingency plan, well, you don't have all the information in its context. How much context do you need?
Yeah, I know.
We
really.
need a plan.
We got an insurance plan. That's what they called it.
In case Trump gets elected.
Mm.
That's pretty clear to me.
Well, yeah.
And what it was the Pfizer warrant. You know what I mean?
Based
They snuck in. Like I said, it's pretty bad when your own fucking FBI got to use sneaky tactics. You know, they can't play by the rules. So why they are there? They should be eliminated. Let the ATF take over. They got so many fucking agencies that can take over.
What they're not talking about in the news now, which you guys, I don't know if you guys know this, but what they're not mentioning in the news now is CNN actually helped get the information used in that FISA warrant. They helped get it out there so it could be used. Because they're in a lot of legal hot water. They're just not talking about it.
You now have news organizations working with corrupt FBI agents to have a fucking to oust a fucking elected president.
Right. To attack a presidential campaign.
No, yeah, but exactly, yes.
And let everybody know about it, including Obama, including Hillary.
And leak the information back to the news organizations that helped get the FISA warrants. What a fucking dirty circle. It's like a fucking...
It's amazing Trump become president at all with all the fucking forces against him.
Yeah, it's like a human centipede, right? Except for they turn them into a circle and actually sew them into a donut.
I think the human population the American population just fucking, when it came to Trump, they just said, fuck this.
We've had enough of the fucking politicians.
Especially
Let's try
Democrats
something else.
saying we're going to give you utopia, and all we got was fucking recession.
Well, that's all they want to do. They don't want America to succeed because they can do that. What do they call that? Credit score based system like China has, except it's not credit score. It's like a credit score system, except it's based on the way you dress, the way you behave, the way you eat, how much
your loyalty,
what you eat, your loyalty. It's pathetic. It basically what happens with that system is, which is what they're trying to do over here, is that the lower your score, the less you can participate in the marketplace, the less likely you are to be able to buy a home, own a car. Hell, in China right now, because of that system, you can be prevented from owning a home, renting a home, or even driving a car for jaywalking.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Jaywalking can actually kick your score low enough that you would lose all those rights.
Unfucking believable. That says to me, right, that all you're looking for is party loyalty.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
What do they call that? Conforming to our way.
Exactly. That's all they want.
So individual achievement means nothing. Nothing. You could be the best surgeon in the world, right? in China and not be able to fucking buy a house?
We got a
because
minute
he
and a half,
jaywalked?
folks.
Yeah, all you gotta do is jaywalk, and you lose all that.
Remind me never to go to China. Jesus Christ. Who do we got coming up next, Jimmy?
We have something to consider with Contrice Barnes.
Okay, there you go. So we're going to be signing off in about what?
About a minute.
Oh, okay. We still got a minute. Let's use it.
Well, that's why I thought I'm going to use the rest of it for Comey.
We did. We talked about Comey.
All right,
Okay, so
let's
what do you
just
wanna
do
talk about
this.
now?
It's
You got something to say to the troops?
Yes, I would like to give a shout out to the troops serving here and abroad. I also would like to say tune in tomorrow night at 7 p.m. to hear All In.
Yes.
And
That's with Donald and Dave Coates. They're from All Aboard. We join radio stations with us.
radio shows.
Radio shows. And we come up with All In on Fridays. It's anything but politics.
Yeah, which is a nice change for me because
Yeah,
I get sick
yes,
of
it's
it.
like
anything goes
it's like
on
a
that show.
vacation, right?
Yeah, it is. And Jeremy does our sound effects,
Oh
which
yeah,
we love. We all love except for Donald.
yeah. Donald hates the sound effects.
Yes, he does.
And you'll get to hear me fucking lose my shit with Billy Bob, most likely. I fucking hate Billy Bob. I really do.
You dumbass.
Thank you. I deserve that.
All right, we got to go.
All right, see you
All right,
next week,
peace out.
people.
I was foolish, I was angry, I was fun, I was charming, I was lucky. Tell me how